Well, hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Where are you right now?
I'm at the
I mean,
beach. For some reason, the kids wanted to come outside, and so here I am.
I suppose you should let them out of the house every once in a while.
Once in a while. They're catching crabs, which, you know, doesn't
It
mean what
has
it sounds like it means.
right. It has different meanings for different populations of people.
Yes.
Um, Great. So I wanted to kind of like for the folks that didn't join us for our earlier conversation, we did our very first Zoom webinar. Oh, there's the feats. We did our very first Zoom webinar with our RedBar London counterpart and Nicholas from Fears Watches, which I
Yeah,
thought
that
was
was
pretty
great. It
fun. That was
was a
actually
lot of
really
fun.
fun.
Learned a lot. He's a
Yeah,
great
I
guy.
learned a lot about, his like sort of motivations for starting his brand and then just his own personal view on his watch collection. And like the one watch that he, you could tell that was the one that got away because he was just the way he talked about it. We all have that watch that's been with us for a special occasion or, you know, like
Yep.
your dad's watch or the wait, which one is it? The one that has all the scratches on it was your first nice watch, right?
Yeah,
The
the Rolex.
the Rolex sub that you're only gonna give to your son if he's not an asshole.
I mean, he's doing all right so far.
Yeah. I mean, he's made
Right.
it this far without being an asshole, but he's about to
I mean, he's
become
only
like mid.
13. Yeah.
Yeah, he's about to hit
There's
peak
5 years for
teenager.
him to blossom into the asshole I know he can be. So,
Right. I mean, and also, there's a period of teenagerhood that people just kind of turn into pod people, you
I'm
know?
going to try to take that into account. But
Yeah.
by the time he's 18, if he's still in the throes of that, then, like I said, I'm welding an Invicta to his wrist, like a
Yeah.
Sub Aqua Noma Zeus Bolt Reserve Magnum.
Wow. That's
That's it.
that's
I think
really
that's a real
amazing.
watch, actually. I'm not making that up.
Well, we're gonna have to somebody research that. Um, I'm sure someone that's watching this can Google that very quickly. Um, did you, well, I don't care if you changed watches or not. Can we do a wrist check?
Yes, we can. I am wearing, hold on. Yes, look at those beautiful feet. The Pulsar P2, which is the world's first mass-produced digital watch. This is actually what the Hamilton reissue is based off of. So, and as I said before, the funny thing about this is that, well, not funny thing, but a little piece of trivia is this watch made its debut on the wrist of Sir Roger Moore in Live and Let Die in 1973. And at the time, it actually cost more than a Rolex Submariner, which of course it was replaced with in the movie. But I don't know why I can't
Right.
take this thing off, and it's really very impractical. But it's a great watch anyway.
No, I mean, it is massively impractical because you have to press a button to see what time it is, right?
Yeah, and even if I tried to do it now, I don't think you could see anything. You can see a little bit. You
You
know what? I'm
are
not gonna.
currently horrifying Syl, by the way.
Oh God, look at that.
Syl is really, yeah,
I have nice
that's,
feet. I'm not gonna. There's no two buts about it.
you
I have
do,
nice feet.
you do keep saying that as if you believe it's true.
I think
So
the
I
more I
feel,
say it, the more it can become true.
I mean, if
I'm gonna do a
I'm
whole
here
live stream of just my feet in front of the fireplace for like
I
an
am
hour.
here to support your belief system, Adam. And if that's a thing that you need to believe to get you through this troubling time, then okay, go for it.
I think it's what the people need.
Well, some of the people seem to really want that, actually, especially the feet in front of the
I
fire.
know John Ferrer wants it.
Yeah,
Feet Bar Crew.
John.
I like that. I'm
Yeah,
gonna start a
Feet
new
Bar Crew.
Reddit.
You start a new Instagram account for that. I think that's good. Um, let me see. Let me do a wrist check for myself here. I am currently wearing the Ming 1701.
Nice.
Um, yeah, it is. I'm gonna see if I can turn it there. Can you see the dial better now with that
Mm,
angle? Um,
of the
so
dangle.
I just think that Ming does amazing. I just love their watches. Their design language is great. It's very clean, but at the same time, the dials are just, stunning.
And the
Um,
value proposition too.
yeah,
It's merciless.
yeah. I'm still kicking myself that I didn't buy.
Ming the merciless. So,
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
still kicking myself I didn't buy that copper dial one because that thing is
Yeah.
just sick. But, oh well. You can't buy every watch that you think is pretty. I mean,
I hate to say it, and this is such an old trope, but it's like if you could have whatever you want, I think it's not as much fun. I mean, we'd have to ask Vasu about that. But
yeah,
I
I
just
think
feel
I
like if I
think
knew I could walk out at any moment and just have whatever I want, just snap my fingers and it's mine, I'd get bored. And I think that's why, then people start buying yachts and jets and bigger houses because they just, you know, again, I would make a great rich person though.
yeah, I think we
I
all
should
think we
have
would
more
make
money.
I think we all
No, but
think we would make a great rich
I
person,
really
but
think I would, no, but I really think I would be a really good rich person. And we
well,
need to work on that.
we can work on that, just not right at this very moment. All right. So, what are you drinking anything yet, or are you not
So
drinking?
Liz my wife got a little alarmed, I guess, at how quickly the booze stocks were being depleted. So she
Mm.
went and she hid well everything. Um, Somebody pointed out it's like a nice adult um, Easter egg hunt that I should go on to find my booze. So right now I'm subsisting on beer, which for some reason is okay, and I hate beer,
Oh
and
yeah, you
seltzer,
really hate beer. Like when you are in a place where the only thing to drink is beer, sometimes you won't even drink alcohol, which is
which is yeah, right. That speaks volumes. But desperate times call for desperate measures, and of course, the only beer we have in the house is Corona.
an appropriate. It's like
Yeah, a little
very
too
timely. A little too on the nose for you?
on the nose there. Yeah. But any
No,
port in a storm. It takes like
that's right.
five for me to get even buzzed, though. Which I
Yeah, because
guess is
that
like a
beer
pretty
is.
bad thing. I guess I should maybe I should drink those.
Yeah, I mean that beer is basically just like drinking sort of fizzy water, though. So it's
That's
from an
true.
alcohol content perspective.
The
So
bubbles are supposed to get you drunk faster.
is that
So
is
I
that what they're
I
supposed?
mix it with seltzer. Get that well.
That would probably make it taste better. Um,
That still tastes like
so
shit. Anyway, go on.
So yeah, so I'm just gonna before I drop you like a fucking hot whatever thing, potato.
Yeah.
I am going to just mention to everyone that's watching that tomorrow we're gonna do another one of the webinars with Bulova. You should have gotten an
Looking forward
email
to
about
that.
it, and it's gonna be really cool. They're gonna give us a couple of really cool sneak peeks at some stuff. So,
Yeah.
um, so
No
if
one say a
you
world premiere.
a world premiere was going to be happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
But that one's a webinar you have to register for. So check your email. And then I'm going to go let a couple of other RedBar members join us, and we
Sorry.
will return to your belching in a little
No, it's
while.
all the seltzer.
All the seltzer.
Oh God. All right. Yeah, you better get out of here quick.
All right. I'm going to
Quick.
do that.
Ah!
Oh boy. All right.
Well, you get till you get me out of here. I'm giving the
I'm
people what they
trying.
want.
I am
Yeah,
trying
see,
to,
IG loves my feet.
but I cannot
Wait, why
get
are
to
we
the.
making Hodonky sad? This is the one guy we need happy right now because he makes us all happy.
All right, I have removed Craniotes from the picture, and I am going to add James. Let's see if he's joining us. Hello.
Why, hello.
How are you?
Fancy meeting you here.
Yes, your mustache is looking luxurious.
Well, you should know I showered and shaved today, just for
Nice.
you.
Thank you.
Um,
I
it's
put
worth.
lipstick on.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
Truly radiant. And Adam, wow, just looks like a total. Oh, he looks like really bad.
I really think it's the scruffiness of the beard. Like if it was trimmed a little bit, maybe it would be a little.
Good.
It's not a good. He was combing it earlier when we were talking to Fears, and he had his beard comb with him. Which is
Just keep in
performative.
mind, when I met him over a decade ago, it was just a mohawk.
Oh yeah, I have
It's
known
right
him
here.
through
Watch his
many.
wrist. Lego.
Yeah,
More Lego. That's a monkey. Yeah, lots of Lego.
there's Legos surrounding you on all sides. No, I've known Adam for 21, 22 years, and I have seen him go through some. I know. I've seen him go through some absurd hair situations, some questionable choices, but
Many questionable choices.
well, I think questionable choices just in general, but also with the hair. Yeah, Adam, that's it. So Adam saying the books are actually made of Lego. Everything in the house, the couch, the mustache, all of it.
Yeah.
It's all Lego.
By day, my life are these incredibly intricate, mechanical, handcrafted things. And by night, it's all about, injection molded ABS plastic building bricks.
Love it. Love it.
Fun fact, Lego is the largest producer of tires in the world.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So what watch you got on right now? Or near you?
You know what it is? I think it's like being here with you guys. It just makes me want to be honeycomb, hide it out. So got the pole router on my right wrist. Love me a pole router. And on the left wrist, I'm wearing the Autodromo Group B Series 1 Night Stage.
Wow.
Let's do it.
Well, let's talk about the Autodromo first, because I'm sure that the audience for Red Bar Crew probably knows who Autodromo are, but maybe not, because they're a small brand. So
Bradley Price is the founder of Autodromo, and he's been a stalwart in the New York watch scene for many, many years. I met him he was launching his brand shortly after I met, was it 2011, I think. So just before I went into business, and truly was very inspirational to me about quitting your real life job to do watches. But, there's a lot of love to a lot of the microbrew guys that I've gotten to know over the years. I have to say, I think for me, my journey with owning and experiencing the microbrand culture started with Bradley. It wasn't the first one I'd ever heard of, but I had the opportunity to get to know him sort of as he was getting started and launching his brand. And I have to say that one thing I love about Autodromo is just how completely all-encompassing his attention to detail is, from the packaging and the instructions and his website. It is really, for the price point, I don't know that there is a better well-rounded brand. There are plenty of other great watches in that price point today, but 10 years ago, it was really in a league of its own, and I would argue it may still be in a league of its own from a all-encompassing brand identity. Autodromo is very clearly Autodromo, and everything he does is about what he loves, and he does it to fund his passion, which is racing vintage sports cars. So what's better than that?
Yeah, and I think that's really great. And the thing I love about his brand specifically is that the design language is taken from that automotive passion that he has. So he's basically, I know there's a lot of overlap between people who are into cars and people who are into watches, but I just like that he's he's tying the two passions together from using this same look and feel.
I think it's actually a very hard thing to do. I mean, making an automotive watch not tacky, very few brands have been able to pull that off at any level. Truly.
Right. No, that's true.
Slapping a Ferrari logo on your chronograph does not make a good watch. Gerard Perregaux, Panerai. Yeah, everything he does is really over engineering, and I really get a kick out of that. And we love him.
Yeah.
we retail, so you know.
Right. That's true, and I will use that moment to plug Analog Shift. So for those of you who don't know, this is James, founder of Analog Shift. He's also a partner in RedBar, and he
Top secret partner. We've never
top
told
secret
anybody.
partner. Yeah, and
My first
but
actually
James
said bad cop.
James is the bad cop, yeah. But the thing that you know you guys should do is go check out Analog Shift, because there's at the very least there's watch porn for you to look at, and and you might find a pretty sweet deal, because you guys are still shipping and stuff, right?
Yeah, we are. Our accessories business is sort of dependent on being able to get access to our office. So anybody who's ordering straps or any of that stuff, we apologize. It's going to be a little bit more of a delay, but watches we have and we can ship them. So first off, thank you to everybody who's watching this, who's been following Analog and supporting Analog. We are a small business, so it really makes a huge difference to us to keep getting your business. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But we are still shipping watches, so hit us up. And that's about as much commerce as I can stomach right now. So I'm going to drink some more.
Agreed. And then tell me about your love for pull routers, because you've got the pull router on your other wrist.
Yeah, I have a few pull routers here. I think shortly after we met, I actually think I came to you and told you I had a pull router problem.
Yes, you did.
I had eight. I'm down to 4 plus a half dozen parts watches. So, you know, making progress. There's something about this design. I mean, it's Gerald Genta's first commercially successful design. For those of you into the design side of watches, probably most of you, it's sort of fascinating to me that there's really only a handful of names in the watch industry from the designer side that people know, and Genta's usually the number one. So this was his first watch when he was in his 20s. He was approached by Universal to design something for a Scandinavian air service, which discovered a new route from North America to Europe by flying across the pole router. In fact, the original was the polar router. And they were for SAS pilots and passengers as keepsakes and so on. There's a lot of design language in the twisted lugs that were made by Huygens and Frere that, you know, sort of made their way into things like the Speedmaster. And they're really cool in every material and every dial, and there's a couple different movements, bumper wind and micro rotor. Adam, look, prices have come up, but they're still less expensive than I would say a Datejust on average. I mean, maybe the nicest one in the world's $5,000 until you get into like the Polar routers or the SAS dials or the broad arrows or, you know, the really crazy stuff. But most of the really good ones with a black dial are, you know, $3,500 to $4,500. That's serviced from a dealer who's going to back it up from an authenticity standpoint, from a mechanical standpoint. Yes, 10 years ago they were less, but so was everything else. To me, they're still an amazing value, particularly if you are like the silver dials, those are less. If you like the later 70s versions, those are less. But there's actually a pilot's watch. They were anti-magnetic. There's great design language. It's an aviator's story. I love these things, and it was hard to get rid of half my collection because they're all, truthfully, this is real talk. I've never seen two that are exactly the same. And
yeah, I think that's
what I love about them. Right?
Yeah, they're kind of like they're just I keep coming across different variants of them, and like as I like look around, you know, trying to find like whatever the perfect grail one is, and they're all different, and it's kind of amazing to me. But
Yeah.
the thing I love about them, you know, the thing I know, if Cecilia is watching, you know, my friend Cecilia, she is madly in love with pull routers, mainly because they're of the anti-magnetic part of it. Like that was what brought her to buy her first Milgauss, because she loved the fact that it was, you know, that it like
I am
the whole
glowing.
thing.
I need this sort of positive reinforcement.
Yeah. So it's a great piece, but yeah, those UG pull routers are just fantastic. So
a lot of watch for the money, I think, and a great story. There's sort of a minimalist element to them. There's date and non-date. There's glossy and matte. There's quadrant and non-quadrant. I mean, truly, again, I've never seen two that are quite exactly the same in terms of their execution or patina. So a lot of watch. Very, very much love those. But
Yeah, absolutely.
you
All
know, I
right.
did have a
Oh, go ahead.
new watch thing I just wanted to mention. I got a really cool email from our friends at Parmigiani Fleurier.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this? They have a really interesting program going on right now from the donation standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
where you can make, I think it's up to $9,000 donation to a charity, and they'll just credit that to you on a watch.
Mm-hmm.
You see
Yeah,
this?
uh,
That's above
the
average, I think.
the embargo doesn't lift on that until tomorrow, but
Oh, fuck.
but yeah,
Good news. This is up 24 hours.
right.
See, I'm not
So
fine print.
but it's okay. It's I think that's really great. And we will definitely obviously post about it tomorrow. It's okay. I think what's really interesting though, if you think about what's been going on in the world, and obviously we can't, ignore that. Like the reason that we're doing this is because we can't go visit each other, and I can't pet your cute as fuck dog, which is really upsetting because your dog is so cute. But like, there are a lot of people that are banding
You got
together to
that monkey.
help one another. That's very cute. I like your monkey. But like the other things, we're seeing like, all these people just like coming together to help other people. And I've seen, other brands are doing like a portion of the proceeds are going to go to like send food or coffee to healthcare workers or things like that. And that's, a thing that I hope to see more from in the watch industry specifically. Like, the brands that step up and do things that are helping other people are the ones that are going to stand out in people's minds after this is over and things, return to whatever normal looks like after this. And so, I'll give them props tomorrow, but yeah,
Just pretend I didn't
no
say
worries.
it. But what I will say is this: been getting a lot of requests for comment and whatnot on the sort of status of the industry and the strength of the marketplace. And look, I've been collecting for about 20 years, and my mentors are all of the earlier generation who weathered the quartz crisis and all of that. And what I would say is this: even maybe 8 or 10 years ago, I'm not sure watches would have survived this pandemic the way it's doing it now. Things are going to change, and there's been some real news out of Switzerland this morning, and the way the marketplace is going to work, I think, is going to be forever changed. However, watches aren't going anywhere, and it's mostly because of the people and the community. The sheer amount of content and engagement, and this isn't the nonsensical fluff. I'm talking about people who are really getting involved with causes, who are doing AMAs and Instagram lives and doing Zoom calls with whether it's clients in a professional capacity or whether it's educational or whether it's just a bunch of weird watch people getting together and drinking way too much while playing online poker. That's why watches aren't going anywhere. And I'll let you speak to some more interesting people today, but I really got to say thank you. And this has been an incredible ride so far for me and for Kath. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I know. And for Adam, being part of this incredible community and seeing how it's come together so many times for so many reasons. And in a way, we're all helping the watch industry get through this. That's pretty, I mean, it's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's about
and
the
I
people
think it is about the people and the drinking for sure. I mean, bar is half the name, as Adam likes to say, but no, it is one of the things that I've really loved about being part of this community and like, traveling around and meeting everybody. It's just the people are great. And, that we all share the same affliction, right? Of like being addicted to these little, timepieces on our wrists. And I think that's the thing that's bringing us all together and the thing that's uniting everybody. And hopefully we can all get through this together.
Absolutely.
So,
well,
all right.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you too. And I hope to be able to see you in person sometime soon, but mostly I want to see your dog. So
yeah, next time, if you have me back, I will make him the guest of honor.
Oh, great. I'm sure he'll be fantastic on camera. He's so adorable. All right.
He's distractible, but yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kath.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
All right. We've got some more folks to add. Adam Moore should be joining in just a minute. There you go. Hello.
Hello, greetings.
How are you?
I'm full of beard, much better beard than Adam's, obviously.
Yeah, your beard is very fluffy today. So first of all, do you have a cat nearby that you can show us?
I don't.
Oh, all right.
I can get one in a second.
Hopefully one will wander in a minute because for those of you who don't know, there is an Instagram account, Unemployed Cats, which features two cats named Tinkerbell and Porkbutt, who live with Adam and are very cute and ridiculous and very, very unemployed. So
I'm not cute or ridiculous, so you know.
Sure. So what watch do you have on today?
The watch that I have on today is actually the watch that might interest James, in that this used to belong to him, which this is his pull router. When he had 7 or 8 of them, when I worked for James at Analog Shift, he came to me one day and said, "You want to buy a pull router, right? Because here I just bought my 7th one, so you take this one." So I did. And do you like pull routers, right?
I do like pull routers. So this one though, what specifically drew you to this one?
This one is it was the one that he was selling.
Well, fair.
At B, it's got a glossy gilt dial that has a little bit of a what do you call that? Tropicalization. In other words, it's damaged as fuck. So
Right.
It looks cooler. So and also it's got the radium and the micro rotor movement, which is important.
Right. Yeah, because the bumper movements the bumper movements are just like a little bit harder to service, right?
They're not as reliable.
Yeah.
But what, am I an expert? No.
No. But yeah, so yeah, no, I obviously prefer the micro rotor movements. Also, I'm just a fan of micro rotors for a couple of reasons. One, because they are thinner and so therefore easier to wear sometimes. And so yeah, I do like that. But yes, and to your point, I do like pull routers, and I'm going to reveal my latest acquisition.
I showed you mine.
I will show you mine. So
show me yours.
My latest acquisition, which is this pull router. So this one is an earlier version that has the silver dials, as James mentioned. This one also has the micro rotor. It's one of the very earliest versions of the micro rotor movement that came out after the bumper movement was. They stopped using the bumper movement. This particular one has really nice intact radium loom plots on the indices. So, for those of you, I know I mention this all the time, but I'm really into radium and radium dials and like the history of the use of radium and other radioactive materials.
Kathleen, that's how you get your beautiful skin color, right? You lick radium dials, right?
No. See, licking radium dials is bad. It's you rub it all over your face. That's how you do it.
Or is it being a 459-year-old vampire?
It's also being a 459-year-old vampire. That was my secret, though. You weren't supposed to reveal that.
Was that embargoed? Was that embargoed until tomorrow?
That was embargoed until tomorrow at 10 a.m. You'll also see on this one, I don't know if you can really see it in this light, but the radium on the hands is also patinaed really nicely. But it's all really even. Like the patina on the loom and the patina on the hands is very, very even, which is, sometimes you don't find that. Sometimes you see patina, aka damage on dials and things like that. Oh, there's a cat. But this one, the dial is super, super clean. The indices are super, super clean, and all the loom plots are basically perfect. So that is the latest addition to my collection, which arrived this morning. and was
Well done. Congratulations.
thank you, and was very, very ably enabled by some of the RedBar London folks who may or may not be watching, but specifically Paul, who was very aggressive with his enablement of this purchase. So, all right, so let me switch this back around. Everyone, this is Tinkerbell. She really enjoys being picked up, as you can tell from her face. She's really into it. And let's show what's behind you, actually, because that is not supposed to be seen by anyone, but here we go.
Yeah, this is a piece, one of my art mashups that I made for the Bailey House auction a few years back, and they have a relationship with the Keith Haring Foundation, and I showed this to them, and they were like, "Oh, we should probably show that to the Keith Haring Foundation and make sure they're cool with it." And turns out they said, "Hey, can our lawyers talk to you?" So I ended up not donating it, so it's just hanging on my wall.
Yeah, so to be fair to them, I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure if there had been an actual conversation about with them about it, they would have recognized that this was just part of, you know, your kind of the artwork that you do. But you know, we wanted to be on the safe side and make sure that, you know, not only you didn't get in trouble, but that the charity didn't get in trouble. So but you know, it's a piece of art that you have hanging on your wall that you can never show in public or sell. So there you go.
Good thing I'm not showing it in public.
Yeah. Well, this isn't public. There's a cat in front of it.
Yeah.
So right. Do you have any other watches that you want to talk about?
Yeah. Well, this cat is wearing a. This is very difficult. Hold on.
You can put the cat down.
I put the cat down. This is the watch you got me, actually. This is the Ralph Lauren. Yeah. I know words. It's okay.
It's okay.
The Ralph Lauren Safari chronograph with a JLC movement in it. I'm wearing a Richemont brand at the moment. In celebration of the Basel World News from today.
Can you double tap the screen and flip the camera around so you can show it with the other camera, because they can't see it. There you go. That's much more in focus.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice piece. You know, I think I actually really quite like the Ralph Lauren pieces, especially from that particular year. Please forgive me for not remembering what year it was from, but there were a few pieces in that collection that were really, really nicely made. And I think
Lego.
There's Lego. That's nice. I think the thing that made them not, I don't know if they did commercially well or not, but it didn't seem like it. And I think that's partially just because, you know, it says Ralph Lauren on the dial and people assume that means it's a fashion watch when there's, you know, actually some pretty serious horological chops on the inside. Like as mentioned here, is that Ralph Lauren watches on the high end usually use a JLC or a Piaget movement. In fact, I think Josh has one that has the Piaget movement in it, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you know, it's got a great movement and an actual serious horological chops inside the case. So, you know, it's a shame that that folks didn't necessarily warm to it because of the name on the dial.
Yeah. I was taking it off my wrist there so you could see the smoked rear crystal on it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is nice. That's a JLC movement, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Tinkerbell really likes it too. This is almost turning into an episode of Get Your Pets.
It is almost turning into an episode of Get Your Pets. So I'm going to plug our other friend's show, and then I'm going to kick you off here. So for those of you who actually like seeing animals get interviewed by someone, go follow John Hodgman on Instagram. He does a daily show every weekday where he has people join like this. This is the inspiration for why I'm doing these shows in this way, where people are people are chatting with us one after another, where he interviews people's cats and dogs and stuff. So if you have cute animals that you want to show to the world, you can join that. But for right now, Tinkerbell's just gonna snuggle up with the Ralph Lauren. She's taking very good care of it. So thank you for joining, and have a good rest of your night.
Happy to be here. Oh, and I've got my coronavirus beard going, but it's
That's
opposite.
your top, yeah, your top
my
beard?
my top beard. Yeah.
Yeah, it's growing in terribly.
Yep.
All right, see you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. All right. So we've got, I think, let me see if there's anyone else in the queue. I'm gonna put someone on the spot. John Ferrer. I'm gonna add you and see if he wants to join or not. I'm just like full on putting him on the spot. So let's see if he joins. Yeah, I know nobody wants the birthday.
What?
Drink
Oh,
Hi.
I'm working right now.
I know.
Right now. Look at this top secret stuff.
Nice.
Let me set up like a tripod here. We got
right.
photographers like Adam Moore watching. We got to have good lighting in here. It's important.
Yeah. So for this, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody probably knows Brew Watches, but John is not only a great watch designer, but also a RedBar member. Lewis is saying hi to you.
Hello.
Lewis is saying hi to me too. Hi, Lewis. You know, we're all having a good time.
These are all prototypes right now. You should not see this.
Nobody look at the prototypes on the screen.
Prototype.
No, we don't. So how's it been? How's it been going for you? I see you've been doing some Instagram lives with other folks as well, and you know, keeping in touch with the whole crew. How you holding up?
Well, so if I'm not working, I'm at RedBar. So I think it's a cool dynamic, right? So we're always online, we're always chatting, and I would say James said it best. We stick around with each other, not just for the watches, but just for conversations and drinks and whatnot. So, I mean, I haven't switched to whiskey yet, but you know, I got bottles staring at me, and no, I think we're just making the most of it right now. And I'll tell you, you're talking about people like donating and like showing their true colors. I mean, we're all doing that, but you know, not just that, everybody's showing their colors through engagement right now. So if you stick around, you're here for like an Instagram live with RedBar or for other folks in the industry, it just shows, one, you're genuinely interested, which we are, and then like two, that you care about each other. So you're not there just to get a watch in and out. It's like, no, you share your passion, and it's long term, it's forever, and you know, it's been good.
Yeah. No, I love that, and I really love the what I've been seeing from, you know, the community all as a whole, like, you know, with Worn and Wound doing the virtual wind up watch fair, and like kind of all of the I feel like there's a lot of camaraderie and a lot of people coming together to support each other, like even small brands that might technically be considered competitors to one another are all like, you know, just kind of joining together and having these conversations with each other on, you know, Instagram Live or Zoom or whatever the medium is. But it's really great to see that, because everybody's just supporting one another. And it's one of the, like, I know I've said this already one time tonight, which is that the thing I love about this whole silly hobby is the community. You know, everyone is just like being great and supporting each other however they can, and whether that's, you know, in some cases it's financially, in some cases it's moral support, in some cases it's just checking in with each other, you know, and that's really great to see, and I love that. So yeah. So you are working on some new designs, I take it?
Yeah. You know, we're stressing for the times, as we should, because everything's uncertain, but you still got to run full force on what you're working on. You can't put it on pause. So I'm working on new designs. I'm prototyping, testing. And so, yeah, we can't slow down just because of this. We're going to go full force, and everybody's questioning what's it going to be like when it's normal. Of course, it's not going to be the same, but still got to come out with like new and cool, interesting things. By the way, Ming watches that cool slate dial before. That was really nice. Like that was cool. Seeing that got me like really pumped up for a moment.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful design, and I think what Ming, the things that I love about their designs is just that it's clean and simple, but like very, very a lot of attention to detail, despite the fact that the designs are very clean. Like that, I think that it's not even despite. I think because they are doing such a clean look that they can focus even more tightly on that like perfection in the dials and the perfection in the cases and stuff. So yeah, it's really great. Are you still doing that the promotion thing where you're doing a portion of your watch sales
I'll tell
to
you,
coffee?
I did it for 1 week. And so for 1 week, if anyone made a watch purchase, 50% of that would go towards my local friends. They have a cafe, and they're roasting their own beans, and they're delivering direct to hospitals for medical workers. And so we did it for 1 week, and I contacted them just to make sure, like, would you be okay with collaborating on this? And we'll send you the funds afterwards. Of course, they were thrilled. And I had no idea, because from my point of view, small business, things have slowed down. But when we flipped on that switch and people knew 50% went, I told us I had no idea. This could be like zero, or it could be like a few hundred. And do you know we raised over $4,000 in 1 week?
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So that all goes to coffee, that goes to meals. And these folks are roasting their own coffee, making the food directly, and not just making it, they're safely delivering it directly to the hospitals. It's like, it doesn't get more, personal than that.
Yeah, are they still doing the deliveries and all that? Can you
Yeah.
still support? So why don't you give them a little plug?
Yeah. So here's the awesome plug. It's easy to say and remember. It's called thehiddengrounds.com. So if you go to Hidden Grounds, you'll see all the information and a bag of coffee, or if you want to send meals. And now they're even setting up donations so you can purchase masks, or that fund will go to purchase masks, and they'll also deliver that. So they're really smart about this. They're adjusting in ways that people can really appreciate.
Okay. That's awesome. I think that's really great. And I think it's really, really awesome that a lot of places are doing stuff like that. There's another coffee shop here in the city that's doing that, called Everyman Espresso.
Yes.
I know you're familiar with them.
Oh,
They are also allowing people to, basically you can go on their site and purchase coffee, and they'll bring it directly to hospital workers. They've been supplying all kinds, like tons of different hospitals, and they've been posting like all the places that they're supporting. Dig In, which is a good fast casual place. They're doing meal deliveries. You can buy meals for folks in hospitals, and so if there's a specific hospital you want to donate to, or you just want to donate some money, they'll do that. There's a lot of places that are doing that for healthcare workers, and I think that's really, really, really amazing. And just seeing all of that support, just kind of, especially here in New York, where we're like, this area is really, it's hard hit.
Yeah.
And, I have a friend that works at Bellevue. It's not good. And so if we're able to support those people, whether it's directly through, just checking in on them, or sending them masks, or sewing masks for their families, or whatever, or being able to feed them or get them coffee or something like that, I think it's really amazing. So thank you for doing that.
No doubt.
And yeah, that's really awesome. So I really appreciate it. So yeah, if there's, do you want to show us a non-prototype watch really quick? Just,
it might be the next room, so we're gonna have to hold it next time.
Well, if you don't have,
you want to see a side view of some stuff that won't come out for another 7 months?
Yes.
Cool. Well, I'm not going to do this PVD, so I'll show you the PVD.
Okay.
Let me show.
Ooh.
Oh, that's it.
Neat. That's very exciting. Ooh, and it's automatic.
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So we're working on it.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining. Sorry for
Thank you
putting you
for
on the
having me.
spot
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I know you didn't like. I just was like, I see John watching this. I'm gonna add him in here. But you know, I am like really excited to see whatever you do next because I love all your watches, so I appreciate seeing that you're still working on some more stuff. And look at Vasu said you're only showing side boob, and he's calling you a tease.
I have 7 more months of foreplay. Don't worry. Well, bring somebody else on. Thank you for having me
All
for
right.
a moment.
Thank you, John.
All right. Bye, guys.
Stay safe.
You too.
Okay. Let's see who else is on here. All right. I think we're gonna. I mean, as much as I don't want to, I'm gonna go back to Adam because we're gonna have to wrap this up in a few minutes. But I'm sure. Let's see if Adam's changed locations and gotten himself something stronger than Corona. No.
Ahoy, me hearties! No.
So that's good. Yeah. So that's cool. I'm excited.
One more
that there's
wristwatch check. Fitz missed it. Pulsar.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what John's coming up with next. That's kind of cool.
Seriously. No, he always comes up with something nice. And again, the nicest guy in the business.
Literally.
Seriously. Like, it's a little creepy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so no, and John, like,
shut up, Justin. Sorry.
Comment on this, but like, he's either really like literally that nice, or he's a serial killer. Like, there's no, possibility that.
I'm just saying, if you get invited to his basement, I guarantee there's a well in there.
Probably.
Don't go in the well, you get the hose.
But so, really though, the thing, and I'm just going to be a broken record this time because I'm feeling all sappy and shit, that everyone that, like, there's so many great people that we've met through this hobby of ours, and, and John being one of them. And, it's a great thing to be able to, have such a nice person, and he makes great product.
But, he also, what's great too, is that we got to see the genesis of this, that when he joined, he was a member, and now he's a full-fledged watchmaker with a company.
Yeah.
And a following. And we saw all of that. Yeah.
And, I remember when he started out, like, we're just going to talk about you like you're not here, John. I remember when he started out, and he had his first Kickstarter campaign, and he was like, he was, showing us like sneak peeks and drawings and stuff like that. And we were, and the price point was great, and a bunch of RedBar members bought the first one. And, we kind of, we got to see the evolution of his design process and all of that. And it was really great. So, it is really nice to be able to see that. And we've got, there's been so many other small watch brands that have kind of sprung up out of the people that are passionate for this hobby. We've got a couple questions if you want to go from. So we got a question from Watch Geek Sweden, who said, will brands meet demand given closed factories and postponed releases? And how will this affect like steel sport Rolexes? So I think those are kind of two questions, right? So, some brands have decided to resume production.
Yeah,
already.
Factories are slowly cranking up now. I don't think we're going to see a huge shortage. I certainly don't think we're going to see a gigantic dip in prices from Rolex, but it really depends on how much stock is currently in the system. One of the biggest problems we've had in the past with the brands is that they're making too many watches, and therefore too many pieces wind up in the gray market, and then they got to find ways to move them. So as long as pieces are still in the pipeline, I think in terms of new watches, new releases, obviously it's going to be a little while before they hit the market.
Yeah, and I think, there was I can't remember the statistic that came out.
Shut up, birds.
That was talking about how Swatch Group alone was sitting on some ridiculous amount of inventory, like $1.7 billion worth of inventory or something like that. That was a while back, but just given the sheer number of SKUs that some of these brands like release at each show, I imagine that they are all sitting on some inventory right now.
It's an opportunity to move it, but still, I don't know how many people are buying. If I'm being perfectly honest, there were some pieces I was looking at. Paul's got a big thing of slime. Get the hell away from me. Yes. But, I'm in a holding pattern. I mean, within certain, within reason. Like, I'm not going to go out and buy a $5,000, $10,000 watch right now. It's not to say that I couldn't do it, but I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I got kids. I've got bills. Yeah. Things are definitely more expensive now. I think a lot of people are kind of, just waiting, which is the right thing to do.
Yeah, I think so. And I think there are watches that are in reasonable price points. And that's, one of the things that we're going to see from Bulova tomorrow is that they've got some cool pieces that are like under $1,000 that like, I might. Well,
their prices are right, as we talked about. And they're pieces I think you can buy without feeling too bad. And they've got a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's any other questions in here. Of course there are.
Thank you, Vasu. Fucking kids.
I'm not answering that, Fahim. Sorry, I got an inside joke question in there. So yeah. Well, Lewis is telling you to trade Paul in for a watch or two.
I've thought about it, and I've offered in the past, and brands have no. Apparently, they don't take children.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they will be currency eventually, I think, but maybe not just yet.
Well, for food.
For food, yeah. So we got a comment in the comments saying that they're moving to micro brands because you have more variety at nice prices, and that's to that point. Like something like a brew. I'm not surprised that they raised that much money that quickly because you're getting a good price for a watch, and then half of it's going to support coffee for healthcare workers. Like, it's a no-brainer. And then you still get a nice.
We've seen a lot of brands, and you were talking about that at length. I know Unimatic. I think it was like 25% of the cost of a watch, and they were donating that back to the efforts in Italy. What we talked about, although we weren't supposed to mention Parmigiani, but there are a lot of brands, I think, that are trying to do the right thing. And it's difficult. I mean, this is the epitome of a non-essential business, and yet it employs people, people we know and care about. And so we do have to figure out how we can support it and yet still take care of ourselves and still support our families.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm of a little bit of, like, I'm kind of two minds about the whole thing where people are like, how could you buy something frivolous at this time? Because it's still people's jobs, I actually had a whole conversation with someone about restaurants because they were there is a restaurateur that was like, how do I could switch to takeout, but then how do I protect my workers? They still have to commute, like there's a lot of like give and take with all of that. But at the end of the day, whether we think that this is a frivolous purchase or not, it's still a business that employs human beings who are being affected by this. So, so I think if you can buy stuff, particularly from small like local businesses or people or businesses that you have some kind of connection to, you should do it if you can. So yeah, all right. Well, I think I'm going to let you get back to your family and going and your human children, and then we'll do this again in a week. Every Tuesday, 6 p.m.
6 o'clock. Same RedBar time, same RedBar channel. Let's see what she wrote here.
Nothing.
Oh,
I didn't write anything yet.
All right. Anyway, enough of Lola. Right. Let me show my feet.
Oh, that's terrible. All right. And on that note, of course it freezes.
So this was great.
Yeah. All right. See you guys. See you next Tuesday.
There. I'm back. All right. Thank you, everyone, for checking in. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.